Hey everybody, and welcome to the final round of the Portland Open presented by Dynamic Discs. I'm Madison Walker.
And I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We're the two hot geese.
Honk. We are out here for our third and final round at Glen de Vere Golf Course. We get to watch Paige Pierce, Catrina Allen, Ella Hansen, and Jessica Weese on the lead card. Ella Hansen shot hot in round two, had a great day on the course, really handled the wind effectively. I got to watch her on my card, and so we get to see her compete at the top now. I know you guys are excited. Of course, we've seen Jessica Weese, Catrina, and Paige many times. We know what to expect from them, and we're very excited to watch them on this potentially rainy day in round three.
Yeah, Paige and Catrina separating themselves a little bit. It's kind of seems like it might be a battle for first and a battle for third, but anything could happen out here on this really long course. Hole 1 is a par 4, 540 feet, OB sidewalk left, just dangerous trees on the right. There is a bunker and a golf green short if you get caught up in some trees and fall short or something like that. We've seen Catrina attack with a mid every day. I think Paige might be a putter or something like that. So a super smart play to just disc down, get something in the middle, and then it's a pretty routine approach shot as long as you don't land in any trouble off the tee.
Texas, Paige Pierce.
We had a little tiny bit of a wind here, but not as much as yesterday. Everyone's got their rain gear ready to go. The percent chance of rain was very high, but it was a little bit blocked here. Not anything you had to worry about a lot. Still left to right crosswind, which is the hardest wind on this hole. You can see Paige's just getting pushed all the way over into the tree line, making her second shot a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, those look like one of her Crystal Fierces, and she'll have to deal with those branches on her second shot.
Catrina Allen.
See Catrina's hair whipping, definitely picking up a little bit on this card. We did not have it so bad here.
She's been going M2.
Absolutely perfect.
Wind's trying to do stuff, but it lands really nicely in the center. She'll have a great look for birdie.
Up next, throwing disc mania out of Eugene, Oregon, Ella Hansen.
Super excited to watch Ella play this course again. She's really, really good at rollers, and there's a lot of those out here. She's also got some sneaky distance on the backhand. Going from ultimate to disc golf, sometimes it doesn't translate well, but she translates really well. Obviously, she's got a super clean sidearm, so we're going to see a bunch of cool shots from Ella.
I love the sidearm play on this hole. Take the sidewalk out of play.
Lead card here in the FPO division. Your champion of the 2015 Beaver State Fling, throwing end of the champion discs out of Grass Valley, California, Jessica Weese.
Another sidearm dominant player we get to watch here. Another player with a lot of distance. This is going to be a fun round to watch.
I don't know if I'd call her sidearm dominant so much as equally perfect on both the backhand and the forehand.
I guess when I first started playing with Jess 6 or 8 years ago, she was throwing more sidearms than backhand, so I always just kind of think of her like that.
Fair enough. She kind of finds a similar spot to Paige, and we'll have to deal with some branches on her upshot.
Man, she's way down there with that sidearm. She got some good distance on it.
And I think this is a similar disc to what she threw off the tee. There's a big Annie shot. Oh, horrible break.
Yeah, get some wind lifts into the branches. You think it's going to cut all the way through, but it's almost like a backboard action.
Yeah, I thought it was going to kind of help just drop it by the pin.
Yeah, those fir branches are like hitting a wall. I mean, if you go through, try to cut through them, there's no way. There's no way. If you're hitting one of those, it will stop your disc dead in its tracks.
That was a beautiful touch shot from Ella. Did she get third at U.S. Women's?
Mm-hmm.
Third. I feel like 3 weeks ago, people were like, she's gonna be a superstar, like thinking in the distant future, and here she is already a superstar.
Yeah.
I'm excited to watch her today.
Yeah, I literally just said Ella Hansen will win a big event soon, like very soon. It's inevitable. It is coming up.
Catrina had a really great upshot, 170 feet. I think that was her PA1.
Just barely inside the circle, finding those left side chains. Hopefully getting this putt dialed as the round moves on. It's going to be windy out here all day, and that definitely can get in your head on the putting green, especially in the wide open golf course.
It was like a swirlier wind today. Several times I just threw up some grass and it just kind of, did
Tornadoed.
little spirals.
Great birdie from Catrina. And Jessica.
Yeah, Paige the only one finding a little bit of trouble on the hole.
30% of the women's field with birdies today. What we expect from that kind of hole. And then we move to hole 2. It's a 639-foot par 4. I think it's more challenging to get the birdie on this hole than it is on hole 1. You're throwing slightly uphill the whole way. You have to hit one of those gaps in the tree line just off the tee. There's an anhyzer and a hyzer. You want to get out in the middle as far as you can to get yourself closer to this tree-lined green. It's very well blockaded for your second shot. We had a left to right cross headwind. It's going to do the same thing that we saw yesterday. If you don't keep your disc on hyzer, it'll push it to the right. You can see Catrina with the body English trying to get it to go left down the fairway.
That'll still be fine. It just kind of leaves an awkward distance if you take that hyzer gap and push too far straight without fading left.
We saw Paige do that yesterday. Ella accidentally showing the bottom of her disc. She's going to have that issue as well. Whoa.
Into almost 14's fairway. And then she'll actually have probably, a gap that she might have to hit on her upshot. So
she might have a hyzer play too out and around on 14's fairway.
We'll see.
Just taking the anhyzer route.
I like this play.
Me too. That was a nice overstable disc choice. It looked like it was going to dump, and it fought back and got way down there.
Yeah, with that play, as long as you get out of the gap, you kind of cut off the distance and leave yourself a little bit shorter of an approach without having to just absolutely blast one down the fairway. Like this.
Yeah, Paige taking that inside route. A little more aggressive because it's closer to the tree, but man, it gets you all that distance.
Yeah, with a bogey on hole 1, I'm sure she's hungry for a birdie here.
Catrina trying to use the wind to her advantage and get this disc to flip over back into the green, but it stables out. She'll be outside circle 2 for her birdie look.
Yeah, I don't know if she released that early or what happened there.
It was weird today. There was a few times where I tried to read the wind and make the disc choice for it, and the wind didn't do what I thought it would do. I think, like you said, the swirliness, it just
hard to guess.
Yeah, you couldn't quite rely on it to be right.
That was an FD3 from Ella, and she leaves it a bit short. She'll have a long look for her birdie. This looks like a better line, as long as it doesn't skip too far. Awesome.
Really great tree. Knocks her down just inside the circle. Paige, like we said, got huge distance off the tee, 230 feet to the pin. She's got to pick a gap and commit to it. She goes for the anhyzer with her fierce.
I think that's a smart angle because that's the biggest gap to get to the pin, but it is really easy to do exactly that and end up on the backside. But it looks like she'll have a clear look from inside the circle. Catrina maybe giving it a soft run here. Oh, nope.
No.
And now it's a tester.
Ella in circle 3 for her birdie putt. Catches the tree. It's crazy how when you hit those trees, it literally redirects your disc perfectly into a roller every time. Like, it doesn't matter what angle it hits the tree, it's going to be a roller backwards.
Man, this is probably a pretty nervy putt. Pretty good effort.
Yeah, it gives it a smooth bid. Trying to manage the comebacker and just in case.
Paige for a birdie here. Beautiful. Heart of the chains.
Paige was one of only 4 birdies on the day. Congrats to Ashlyn Tallier. And your 2 hot geese both got it.
Ooh, double honk. Ah, left side.
Catrina for par. So So Paige getting one more stick on the field and one more stick on Catrina for the battle for first place.
It's only 3 strokes apart as opposed to the 4 that they started with, though. Moving on to hole 3, one of the most scenic holes, just with the gap and the lighting. I don't know, they're all pretty out here. It's 576 feet, so a lot of people are going to take the hyzer. We saw Paige take the middle gap and get it all the way down here for an eagle bid. It's been playing as one of the easiest holes on the course. There is a dangerous sidewalk, or a cart path rather, OB on the left, that you need to be careful about on your approach. So here's that middle gap play that's a little bit more dangerous, but obviously the reward is worth it here. You're getting like 420 feet up the fairway.
She turns her disc a little bit more than she probably wants. It needs to be on a hyzer angle and a little higher to get there, but it's a scary gap. I mean, turning your back to that gap with that much power.
This is the way more common play. It can get you a really easy birdie. And that's great distance, actually, from just a plain old hyzer.
Erika was correct. It is the easiest hole on the course for the FPO field, with 46% of the field getting a birdie. Let's see how these lead card ladies handle it. The wind was pretty buffered here. It was blocked by all the lines of big trees. It was nice to feel you were in a little calm pocket. But you could still hear it. Ella opting for a really high hyzer, maybe trying to get a lot more distance to the left, but she grip locks it. Does not help her in distance at all. It will definitely make her second shot a lot farther than everybody else's.
I mean, she'll still definitely have a look at the birdie. It's just a little bit tougher now. Or is it?
Or is it?
Great touch. Mm-hmm. I think even in the short time I've seen her play, her approaches have gotten a lot more confident. I feel like at first she's releasing them on a lot of hyzer and they'd hit the ground early. And it just seems like maybe she's totally figured it out. Jessica with a decent approach. She'll have a little bit of a death putt, but she should be good for that. We'll see. Go in. Oof. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that little last kind of roundabout or whatever that circular part of the path is comes up really fast. Touches inside the circle even. Super easy approach from Paige with that monstrous tee shot. So this is to save par. Wow. Looking super confident.
That's a really nice par save from Katrina.
Looked like she didn't even look like nervous or like it was pressure at all. It's like, oh no, that's just my par.
That's what I was going to say. It looks like she's showing a lot of confidence going into this final round, even with a deficit.
Paige with a really solid putt to put the get her lead back up to 4 strokes. Comfortable lead, but still a lot of golf left. Great birdie from Ella. And that'll tie them up at 3rd.
Ooh, we have 2 battles going.
Exactly. It's the best.
Hole 4 is a par 3. It's 338 feet. It is the most wooded hole on the course and one of my favorites. I love this gap that we have to hit off the tee. You want to throw something that gently turns past the big tree and then hyzers back into this green. There's a whole bunch of guardian trees keeping you from getting to the basket on the line I just discussed. We'll see Paige maybe try to flip. Yesterday she tried to flip something and go wide on the outside, which she might accidentally do here. And she finds herself in circle 1.
Yeah, that was great. I'm sure she wanted a tiny bit more fade at the end, but as long as you miss that first tree, you'll give yourself some kind of look. Mm-hmm. This looks too high and still goes really far.
Yeah, still carries even after hitting branches and trees.
Unless she does some sort of amazing throw-in, though, she'll just have to settle for par, but it should be a pretty easy approach.
Catrina lining up that outside angle. We've seen her hit the last 2 days, first on the feature card and then on lead card. It worked out pretty well for her in round 1. Round 2, she had a kind of a weird wind that did not let it get all the way inside the circle. Today, it hyzers out again. She'll be well out into circle 3 land, but with an approach to the basket for par.
Yeah, that looked like a different disc than the past 2 days, I think.
It did.
I think it had some more stability. And this is a little high, but I think, yeah, she sneaks through just fine.
Oh, yeah.
And stays in the circle. Very nice shot.
Get some ground action there at the very end.
A birdie on this one feels so good.
It does.
I mean, it's definitely the most technical hole, but also reachable for everybody.
Ella, it looks like she is feeling the wind a little bit. She's really good at throwing those touch sidearm approaches. That's one of her most common tools she pulls out of her bag, but that one definitely gets tangled up in the wind and lifts and holds over to the left. Catrina throws a backhand approach. Normally she's a little closer than that. I can't tell if she's behind a tree or not, but we'll find out.
I think it did have a bit of an anti-skip into the tree.
Really nice putt to save par.
Great save. She gave a little fist bump.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely windy there, and it's so scary to putt with these swirly winds.
Paige unable to convert on the birdie. Jess as well will have to settle for the par.
There was only 6% of the field with birdies. That means only 2 on the day from the FPO field. Congrats to Valerie Mandujano and Kat Mersch. Got to watch Valerie. Big putt.
Just a couple tap-ins for par here. No changes on the scorecard.
When I walk up to the tee, I have these game plans. I know where I want to land. I know the distance to the basket from those positions. I think I'm going to land in these same areas every single time, but you never know. I know how far I am. I know the height now. Having the Bushnell Range Finder, no matter where I land, gives me that extra level of confidence.
You've seen them in the hands of professionals, helping them compete at the highest level. Whale Sacks is a female-owned small business, handmade in the USA. We are dedicated to outstanding grip for all disc golfers.
Hole 5 is a par 4. It's 558 feet. It's a little bit of a tunnel shot with a low ceiling. If you take a hyzer route, you can kind of take those branches out of play, and then it's a super dangerous green on your approach. A tree kind of blocking the sidearm approach. There's a bunker that's maybe 10 feet from the pin, and then a cart path right behind it. Tiny little landing zone. Pretty good bailout left area on a hyzer, and then there's a golf green on the right too, huh? Which is a little bit harder to find, but I'm sure some people found it. That was a great shot. I'm sure Zeus from Paige. I kind of like the left side. It opens it up a little bit.
Ella tries to go for, it looks like the hyzer route as well. Somehow gets through the fir tree branches, which I just said was impossible.
I mean, it took a ton of speed off.
Yeah, it did. It'll make her second shot a lot more difficult. This is one of the scariest greens to approach on the course. Trying to get your disc to go over, with a comfortable backhand route, to go over that bunker and then gauge the speed enough for it to slow down before it gets to that sidewalk is so difficult.
I'd give it second scariest green.
There's some scary ones.
The next
out
one's
here.
scarier.
There's a lot of ties for first and second.
Yeah. Nice low line from Jess. That's really what you want to do. She keeps it nice and wide. Ton of skips. Great shot.
This was one of my favorite holes on the course for the FPO field. I really liked the scoring spread. It was 25, 50, 25, almost exactly for birdie, par, and bogey. It's exactly what you want to see.
Oh, no.
No.
That was an MD4 from Ella, and just all she needed was a tiny bit more speed.
She'll still be able to save a par from the bunker with the hazard stroke.
And the sidearm is smart. You do kind of have to challenge this tree, which is the main danger. But if you go around that tree and skip in, I think that's probably the smartest play if you do have a power sidearm. Little backhand putter. Too high in hyzard. Should probably be in circle 2. Oh, no. Okay.
Checks up just before the side. It's scary too to put your disc up high here because you might not be able to feel the wind on the ground, but the second it gets up a little bit higher, the wind will definitely take control.
Katrina threw it like right over that strip of land in between the golf green and the bunker. It was like safe the whole time. It was awesome.
Never crossed out of bounds.
Oh yes!
That was amazing.
Sidearm thrown from about 80 feet.
That's one way to not worry about the OB long.
Oh my gosh. I think she might have even been safe. That was perfect touch. Like if she missed, wow.
It landed so softly in the chains.
What a birdie.
What a birdie.
Little pat. Good job, basket.
That was great. Paige for her birdie.
Never quite had the height.
Yeah, I like this hole a lot as well because it doesn't necessarily require you to have huge distance to have an advantage here. It just takes 2 really good, really thoughtful shots. Ella to save her par, just a little too high. But it's still a difficult hole for everybody, for the distance throwers alike. I really just like how equalizing it is. Great birdie from Catrina.
Yeah, not difficult for her. She really did play right over that safe strip of land. Like that's next level, like chess level disc golf.
Yeah. Chess level.
Yeah, like she's really thinking ahead, all the moves.
Moving on to hole 6, after a long walk, we have another elevated tee pad. There's an out-of-bounds line all the way down the left-hand side that can come into play if you throw with a little bit too much hyzer angle. Lots of airspace to work with to hopefully get a bunch of distance and get as close to this bunker as you can to set yourself up for your shot to the green. We will also see a lot of people playing their second shot out to the left of that green on the left-hand side of the basket and then pitching up their third shot and taking the easy par. This is a green that only the biggest distance arms will be able to reach on their second shot. Katrina trying to set herself up for just that, and she's getting way down there.
Yeah, beautiful D2 drive. We actually haven't seen anybody land safe on the green on their second shot. Everybody's found trouble. It's super smart just to suck it up and take the par here. And it's not even an easy par. It's still touchy. So I'm curious to see if I think that if you get far enough, any of these ladies will go for the green, but
this played as the second most difficult hole of the day.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem worth it.
57% of the field with a bogey or worse. So let's see what happens.
I can't wait. Wow. So much power.
Crushed. Using all of that right side. You don't really want to be pinched over there for your second shot to the green, but if you're 465 feet down the fairway, it doesn't really matter where you are.
Oh my God. I don't know if that's true, but I agree that it was incredibly impressive.
Sometimes it feels that way on these fairways with no out-of-bounds lines anywhere.
I mean, there is an out-of-bounds line left that actually I found once, and I've seen a few other people find if you're just not careful, because it feels like there's so much room, like, I won't go out of bounds, and then you fluff it. That was super nice from Ella, down the middle the whole time.
Looks like she's pushing the 420-foot mark.
Yeah.
I mean, she's just behind Paige at 465.
Definitely over 400. And this is smart from Jessica, just laying up. I like the sidearm play to get you close to the bunker and leave that last approach shot as easy as possible. Still not easy.
But easier.
Easier. And
Katrina going for the green, it looks like?
Absolutely. Not. Yes, she is. Yep.
Doesn't quite get the flip that she wanted to get that little bit of extra glide.
Yeah, still haven't seen anyone land safe.
I think even if she did get it to flip up a little bit, it would have found that green deep.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Ella's forehands have been coming out with a lot of hyzer today. She gets that big skip and finds the out-of-bounds line on the right. Man, it's crazy how close it pinches to that basket.
Yeah, that was that same FD3 she threw on hole 2, and it gets a lot of ground play. Yeah, I'll have some tough... Katrina and Ella will have some tough putts to try to save their par. This looks good, just a little bit of heat. Oh, yeah, it checks up great.
Yeah, she's really... Once that first out-of-bounds she hit on hole 1, now she can just check everything up right before the out of bounds line. She's figured it out.
She'll be unstoppable.
Just throwing that same orange disc that she threw in on the last hole, and looks like it's great for the touch approach shots.
Even those putts are a little scary in the wind and with the bunker right behind it.
And this green, the wind was absolutely ripping.
Yeah.
This is one of the most terrifying greens. We'll say this is
I
a
think
tie for second.
This is my scariest. Like, this is my number one, undoubtedly.
Yeah, it is. Putting it up on the ant mound, rolling towards out of bounds in all directions.
Wow.
Wow.
Excellent par save. I believe she did that same thing in round one. Landed right there, just outside the circle, and manages to save the par.
This is the second time she has saved a par with an out of bounds stroke. Both times from right outside the circle. Super impressive save, looking really confident on the putting green, and that's a good feeling to go into the rest of the round.
Being really confident in those pink pants, too.
Not many people can pull those off.
She's rocking them. Oh, no. That was to take probably, 2 strokes on the field, not just one. I feel like she's the only person who's going to be disappointed with par on this hole. Good, smart par from Jess. And Paige with the par. Ella settling for the bogey.
No birdies on the day on the FPO field. Not super surprising, but we'll move on to hole 7, the first par 5 of the day. It's 948 feet, and it is one of the most technical holes on the course. There's out of bounds absolutely everywhere. You want to get down past the big tree on the left and then get your second shot before the water, before you line your birdie shot up to the green. There is a bunker, there's a sidewalk, there's green, there's water, there's a mando, there's all kinds of stuff you have to deal with, and it's really hard to talk about all of it during the very fast flyover.
Catrina's been going wide left of the tree, which is definitely kind of the intended route. She lands a little bit shorter than she has been, so there's kind of just a tree wall that she might have to throw around on an anhyzer today. She's been having a straight shot, so might be a little bit harder. Jess, this is a great play.
It's perfect.
She'll be able to skip up past that tree. She will still have those trees to contend with. Some people have been going right side when they get really desperate, but it's definitely easier to go over the water if you can get around the left side of the tree wall.
Actually, I watched my entire card yesterday go up that right side
Really?
very effectively. Yeah, all 4 of us did. I think that right side has turned out to be actually a pretty great route for the people that don't have big distance arms.
Interesting.
Paige catches that tree a lot earlier than she wants. It's going to make her second shot very difficult as far as getting around the wall of trees that you want.
Ooh, roller. This is a DD3.
Big height on it. Cruising towards the out of bounds, but it looks like it's going to check up.
Yeah, I mean, it was good distance, and
She gets way around that mando tree.
yeah, and that right side, she'll have a pretty open look. I think
So
what
impressive.
I've seen is people being on the right side and then trying to get over to the left, and then that's the problem. So I guess it depends just on how you play it.
Yeah, these, the women on the card have a lot of distance in their drives, obviously, we all know that, but so they don't have to feel the pressure of getting their drive as far as they can to get over the golf green to get to the green on their third shot. They
Yeah.
can leave it a little bit shorter and still confidently approach the green for birdie.
That's definitely true, but what Jess just did is what I've seen a lot of, like trying to get over to the left a little bit, hit a tree, and leave a little bit of a tricky approach.
Definitely.
And then backtracking, Catrina threw a little bit shorter than she has been in previous days, so she'll have a little bit of a longer upshot on her third. Paige nails this shot.
Yep, over those 2 trees, perfectly where you want to land. She'll have a wide open approach for her birdie. Ella takes the height as well, tries to spike something in there, not get too much of a skip. You can see the rain really start falling at this point. Along with every band of rain came a lot of wind, and on this hole, that is not what you want to have to deal with.
I want to say there was 3 separate little mini storms with tiny storm fronts of of wind that picked up. Oh no, that skips OB.
Love Jess going for that with the sidearm. That's definitely the play. She gets a lot more ground action than she wanted.
She always gets a ton of ground action though. Look how spinny her forehand is.
Catrina going to take that easy hyzer route right towards the trees, hopefully finishing right into circle 1.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. That sidewalk is so close on the backside.
And it's so easy to land on the green and then have to, throw from short of the green, and then it's hard to even get your bogey. I thought that came out with a little bit too much hyzer, but that flipped up pretty nice and skips right over into circle 2. That was sweet.
This plays us the third most difficult hole of the day. 4 birdies from the FPO field, and we're watching 3 of the 4 of the lead card women set themselves up for birdie looks. Paige, what's happened?
Pretty much. Wow. Even hitting that first tree that you're trying to get around, she's, parked.
Yeah, that second shot was unbelievable. All she needed to get up and down. Ella for her birdie from circle 2. Giving it a strong look.
Catrina for her birdie. Trying to keep pace with Paige. Beautiful.
Yes, on the elevated basket with a little bit of a hill. Just like a regular basket.
Yeah. Why does everybody complain?
What
It's
a
easy.
confident putt. Again, we see Catrina looking great on the green.
Yeah, she's kind of just matching Paige, not quite able to close the gap and really, fight for that lead.
Congrats to Madison Tomeno and Lindsay Fish for also finding birdies on this hole. This is a huge hole. This one feels great to birdie.
Yeah, they were both on my card, and it was super fun to watch.
Jess will unfortunately have to walk away with a bogey, but she's been playing super clean today. Nothing to worry about.
Bogey with an out-of-bounds stroke on that hole is, I think, literally
Impressive.
as good as you can do it.
Yeah.
Hole 8 is a par 3, 342 feet. The intended line is to go through this low ceiling gap uphill. It plays longer than 342. There's not really any out of bounds to speak of. I think there's a green super short left or something, but you're not really going to find that. We've seen Catrina go roller. That's either gone too long or wrapped around to the right, so we'll see if she can correct it today.
Going up that left side, that's the first time we've seen that happen. Looks like it gets tangled up just before it gets to the green, but she may have a long look for her birdie.
Yeah, I think this will be her best chance at a birdie. We've seen on some of the power players go hyzer, just like Paige is doing here. I think that might be her stalker.
Turns it a little more than she wants, but it looks like it finishes fine. She'll be on the side of the hill in circle 2. We know that's in her range. Ella opting for that center route that Erika was talking about. Doesn't quite get the flip on it that she wants. Leaves it a little bit low, and she'll just have to probably settle for par from that location.
Jessica's probably the hardest person to guess what she's going to do. She has so many shots. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Anheuser, flex, gets it into circle 2. Gorgeous shot.
95 feet to the pin. Gives it a really high floaty look.
Yeah, no problem.
Kind of a soft bid.
Long look for birdie here. Anheuser putt.
Oh my god.
Wow.
She's
Perfect
dialed.
line.
Yeah, she's dialed.
1 inch too high.
Paige on that side hill. Leaves it just a little bit low. Even though this was one of the easier holes on the day because of lack of bogeys, there was only 3 birdies on the day.
Yeah, it's definitely... Oh, yes!
And we get to watch one.
Closes it down to 2 strokes. That was a big putt.
Man, she is fun to watch on the green today.
This whole tournament.
Yes.
This whole year, really. I feel like she just... she's doing a straddle now, which she hasn't really done in years past, and she gets so much extension backwards, and then it just looks so confident and smooth coming out. It's been awesome all year.
It's not like she's sneaking them in either. They're just going right into the center of the chains.
Jamming them.
Haley King and Valerie Mandujano both with big birdies. I got to watch Valerie Mandujano throw it in from probably 220 feet at the bottom of the hill.
Wow.
It hit not a single chain either.
Wow.
Came in spike hyzer forehand, just into the pan.
Unreal. The Rest of our lead card ladies settling for par here as we wrap up the back 9 with another long par 5. This one is much less technical. You're trying to get as far up this hill as you can. The second shot can be tricky with the uphill run-up. And then, you know, if you get far enough, you can definitely get there for a birdie look, but the green can get pretty dangerous. There's that briar, thorny stuff on the right. That's OB. There's a couple of sand traps. There's a cart path long, perched on a hill. So roll-away danger is so real.
Definitely.
Catrina's been doing roller every day. Roller, usually.
There is a Mando tree on the right that can come into play with the roller, but she executes it really well. Mando tree is not even an issue. She's probably way past it.
Yeah, she's so good with that F7 roller. Paige going big air shot. And I like the right side a little bit more. If you actually land to the right of that tree, the grade is a little less intense. If you land like smack dab in the center of the hill, it's like a hike in your run-up.
Ella also opting for the roller. Gets a great angle on it, and it looks like it
Look at it go.
almost could get to the top of the hill. Oh.
Wow. That was a DD3, and I mean, she might even be able to actually see the fairway on her second shot, which is a luxury.
That's unbelievable. If that was on flat ground, that would have gone forever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that just blows my mind how much she progressed up that hill. That's just crazy. Jess flexing one out there. She'll have that uphill run up Erika was talking about earlier. Here you're just trying to crest the hill and keep your disc angle as flat as possible.
This is a really common mistake, to turn it over too much, trying not to expose your disc angle.
The Anheuser is the way to get as far as you can down there, but you do have to give it a little more height.
Mm-hmm. And yep, we've seen this every day. A second roller from Catrina. This one looks like it's going too far to the right and might push the OB over. Nope, never mind, it's fine.
She landed on the teeing surface for the golf course just in front of the tee pad for hole 11. We watched her throw her second shot from over there.
And great power. It just needs to kind of pan out. And
Oof.
yeah, beautiful shot. Really good nose angle control from Paige. And amazing power for that uphill run up. Like, this isn't easy.
No, definitely not. Ella opting for a sky roller. Wow.
Look at it go. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Is she already 900 feet up the fairway after 2
Oh
throws?
my gosh.
I don't even understand where she is.
And she just threw
Wow.
She just threw that sky roller on that uphill run up too. Like,
Yeah.
it's so controlled.
I think each one of those had to be pretty close to 400 feet.
Holy cow.
Ooh, Jess with the secondary shot roller. Man, so cool to see everybody throwing rollers.
I think this is something that we're all going to have to learn to be competitive in the future if we continue to play these long ball golf courses. It is, I mean, especially when people are throwing 500 feet.
Yeah, it's the way of the future, everybody.
It is.
Wow.
Catrina with a beautiful looking air shot gets inside the circle. She'll have kind of a death putt, but I mean, I'm not worried about her on the green right now.
That was a beautiful Anheuser shot around the tree. Paige with a pretty similar look, a little bit closer and a little bit better than Katrina's. Wow.
Just matching that.
Gamesmanship, yeah.
I
The
know.
back and forth.
And just executing their respective shot selections perfectly every time.
I think there's a lot of women coming up and the field's getting bigger and the women's side of the sport is growing and it's so exciting, but also Paige and Catrina are showing us why they've been at the top so long. All year they've had these battles where they're separating themselves by 5 or 10 or more strokes than their competitors. So we all gotta catch up. They're so good.
Oh, Catrina, I thought she was inside the circle. I don't know what little orange thing I saw.
I think it was just a deceptive camera angle.
Yeah. Okay, she lays up for her par.
And
That's
just from just inside.
Oh.
Floats it in for her par save.
This has been such an exciting round to watch. So much cool stuff happening.
see it again. GK replay.
This is a death putt too. If you miss the basket, you will roll down the hill towards an out of bounds cart path. So really cool to see her float one perfectly in.
Ella with a really scary downhill putt. She's probably looking at that bunker.
Still gives it a hard bid.
Yeah, just a bit low. Look at this tap in birdie. Wow.
Only one birdie on the day. And it was a tap in. That's crazy.
Wow, that was an amazing front nine. Paige has 3 strokes on Catrina for the lead. Jessica has 2 strokes on Ella for 3rd place. Everybody finding some birdies. Ella finding a little bit of trouble towards the end. The second half is definitely going to be a bit harder, but I don't know. The way they're all playing, I'm sure they'll find some birdies.
Yeah, let's check in with the leaderboard and see how the rest of the field's doing. See, at this point, we could see Ella, people catching up to Ella, Jessica, and we see just that. Haley shooting a 2 down for the round today, and that gives her enough to jump Jessica and Ella. Kona also keeping herself under par and finding herself in contention to be in the top 5, no problem. Everyone else kind of struggling in the wind a little bit, but we see Valerie Mandujano finding a bunch of birdies out there and climbing up the leaderboard. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us. There's going to be more exciting shots in the back 9 of round 2. Round 3. I'm Madison Walker.
And I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We're the 2 Hot Geese. Hong Kong.
Honk.